Then the angels are commanded, take him back to earth. I created him from it, and into it I send him, and from it I will resurrect him again. Then the soul is returned back to the earth. And when that soul is returned back to the earth at that moment, the individual is already in his grave. And he hears the footsteps of his companions as they walk away from the grave. Then there come to him two blue and black angels. Two blue and black angels, Munkar and Nakir. These angels are severe and harsh. They sit him up and they shake him. And then they say to him, Man Rabbuk. They say to him, who is your Lord? If he was a righteous person, then he will say, Rabbi Allah. My Lord is Allah. Then they will say to him, Ma dinak. What is your religion? Ma dinuk. What is your religion? Then he will say, if he is righteous and pious, and if he was a good person upon this earth, upon Tawheed, worshipping Allah, he will say, Deen al-Islam. He will say that my religion is Islam. Then they will say, Ma hadha rajul alladhi bu'itha fikum. Then who is that man that was sent amongst you? Then he will say, if he was truthful, righteous, a believer, he will say, Huwa Rasulullah. He is the messenger of Allah. Then they will say to him, وَمَا أَيْنَمْ وَمَا عَمَلُكَ. Or, so what was your deed? Or what did you do? So then he will say, قَرَأْتُ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ فَآمَنْتُ بِهِ وَصَدَقْتُ. He will say that I read the book of Allah and I believed in it and I bore witness to its truthfulness. So these questions, my brothers and sisters, are put by those severe angels, Munkar and Nakir, the black and blue angels. So then they will shake him again and they will ask him again, Man Rabbuk, Ma Dinuk, Man Nabiyuk. They will ask him again, who is your Lord? What is your religion? And who is your prophet? And at this, the last fitna for him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, يُثَبِّتُ اللَّهُ الَّذِي آمَنُوا بِالْقَوْلِ الثَّابِتِ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the verse with regard to this affair. Allah keeps the believers firm, with firm words in this life, and of this world, and in the hereafter. So here we know, my brothers and sisters, what will occur when an individual enters the grave. So the deceased will repeat again, Rabbi Allah, my Lord is Allah. Deen al-Islam, my religion is Islam. Nabiyyi Muhammad, and my prophet is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So after this occurs, this trial occurs to that individual, and this fitna takes place, and that terrifying moment comes to an end, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, my servant has spoken the truth. So provide him with furnishings from Jannah, clothe him from Jannah, and open for him a door to Jannah. His grave then is expanded as far as the eye can see. Then his deeds appear for him. His deeds appear before him in the form of a man. A man will come to him, and that man will represent his deeds. And he will have a pleasant face, a nice garment, a nice smell. He will bring him glad tidings for the righteous deeds and the goodness and obedience that he showed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So then he will mention to him that I am your righteous deeds. He will mention to him that you were quick to do righteous deeds, that you raced towards the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if a person, if any single one of us sitting here today, and any human being wants to be in that position, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala furnishes his grave with the furnishings of Jannah, opens up his grave as far as the eye can see, so he can see Jannah, and he can feel a breeze of Jannah, and the scents of Jannah, shrouded in the clothing of Jannah, and the fragrances of paradise. then an individual needs to start being righteous and pious and seek forgiveness for his sins, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may forgive him and expand his grave for him, so that the grave becomes for him like the embracing of a mother and not the crushing of a mountain. Wal iyadu billah. So that individual, he will say, after he's shown his place in Jannah, he will also be shown the hellfire. The righteous man, he will be shown the fire of hell. And it will be said to him that had you been from those disobedient ones, then that would have been your abode. So that individual will say, of course he's righteous, but that individual will say, oh Allah, bring on the day of judgment, so I may reunite with my family. Because now, and in some of the narrations it mentions, oh Allah, he will say, he will seek to inform his relatives in the dunya that he's in good health, that he's in a good condition. And he will be said, no, you just rest, be tranquil, be at ease. In some of the narrations it mentions, oh Allah, bring on the day of judgment. He's happy, he's in ease,